as believers, there is such a thing as body life that is supposed to be the sustaining factor for the believers individually and corporately. When one of us is struck, the response of the believer is to stay round about him, to stand round about him. When I mean when one of us is struck, I am not saying that when somebody is doing like the guy in 1 Corinthians chapter 5, that one used his leg and walk out of the company by the actions he was taking. Like in Acts of the Apostles chapter 12, when Herod took James and when he saw that he pleased the Jews, he now took Peter, put him in prison, intending that after the Passover, he would what? He would kill him. What did the church do? Prayers were made by the church. Those people, they were praying. And honestly speaking, if there is a call today and say, they have taken our pastor, but we need to pray until he is released. How many of us will respond to that call? Let me tell you the truth. We are only as strong as our corporate alignment. In that day, it was not the prayer of Peter. Peter himself did not believe that he could come out of that thing. So that even when the thing that was happening, he thought he was seeing a vision. Then the angel left him outside. He found his way to the house of his closest disciple, John Mark. He went there and surprisingly, that gate did not open of his own accord. That gate would have to be opened from the other side. Yes. The prayers of those people that were in the house was what opened the gate in the prison. But you see this gate in this house, it is the people that will open it themselves. I am saying this to say that Peter, the apostle that he was, Peter was an apostle thoroughly. He was like the top apostle. Peter needed the brethren to stand by him. So it's not every time that pastor pray for us, pastor pray for us. The pastor too, the apostle too, needs to be stood by. On this day, it was that the disciples, they stood around Paul and he rose up. So when that happens and the horde of hell rises up against the believers, against the chosen, in Acts 12, he said Herod stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church. He did not stretch forth his hand to vex the church. It was to vex what? Certain. There were a particular group of people. And I pray that for every one of us, we are sensitive to the seasons. Because there are those times that Satan will stretch forth his hand to vex certain. In the day when that happens, it is the responsibility of the church, the disciples, to stand around the apostle. Stand around him. And again, let me make it clear that I am not saying that you should be standing with somebody that is in sin. That's not what I'm talking about at all. That somebody has fallen into sin. He has taken another man's wife. I say, no, I stand with my apostle. Because God said that we should stand with. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I am saying that when there is an assault, an affront of darkness on the life of a person, maybe this man of God has been struck with an illness. Maybe there is a sort of an attack, right? An affront, like that kind of one that happened with Job. That kind of a thing. The disciples, it is their duty to stand around him. And this is our own. It may be down now, but this is our own.